So you didn't want to get mad at him like, man, this company falling apart, bro. Things ain't right while you gone, but you out here playing ball. No, I knew that was his dream. We all knew that.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and you know, because he would never miss albums. You know, so I think everybody had their reason for leaving, and whatever it may be, you know, whether, like you said, whether it was a Reginelli, with his, whatever went on with their business, I don't know. That's like my little bro, love him still to this day. But my reason, it wasn't family anymore. And I felt like I was caught in the middle, you know, and I just wanted to walk my journey, man, and do what I was taught by him to do. You know, so that
you know what?
You know,
Yeah, I was going to say, and going back in that time period where, from 90 going back to 98, where you guys was at this point, y'all guys was like, I would say the Chicago Bulls of 97, 98, because then you guys added Snoop Dogg to the family.
Yeah.
That was now, how did he fit in with you guys?
He fit in well. That was on. You know what I mean? What you gonna do? You gonna look at him and say, yeah, we the top dog, and you need us right now. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he still walked up, and that was like God to us rap wise. You know, it was still respect, and he taught us things. You know, I can remember doing my album, The Next Level, and we were in L.A. I was so happy to be around him, the Dog Pound, everybody, man, badass, rest in peace, man, my Hennessy drinking partner, you know what I'm saying? And, you know,
man, we missed him. Man, we missed him.
And we, man, that was my dude, man. And doing my album, man, that was my dude. And, you know, I remember telling Snoop, like, yeah, man, I want to go to Swap Meet, get some beefy tees and corduroy slippers. He was like, nephew, sit your ass still. You don't know when you gonna when this gonna be taken from you. Say, look at me, I'm trying to get life over here with y'all guys, you know. And I'm Snoop. He said, get in here and work, man. You got people go do that, man. Every day, man. You supposed to be working and doing what you got to do. Don't take it for granted, man. Fuck them slippers. And at first, I'm sitting back and I'm like, Snoop is slim. You know what I'm saying? I'm big. I'm bigger than Snoop body wise. And I'm like, man, this is like one of my idols, and look how he handling me. And then, you know, it's like, and he saw it in my face, and he was like, nephew, go do your work. Don't worry about that. Got that. You know what I'm saying? And I understood. You know what I'm saying? And the next day, I had all these things that I asked for where he sent somebody to do it. He was like, don't ever take this for granted. Things like that we needed, because at that point, we was the-label, and we knew people was trying to bring us down. We had so much going on, man, that MP shielded us from it, whether it was the feds investigating, trying to see who we really were. You know what I mean? Other little people saying little things. You had a few rappers put their little songs out, you know, and things like that. But, you know, Snoop was more of a teacher, man, and he was a big brother, an uncle, you know, a friend, you know what I'm saying? So to have somebody who I used to had posters used to be on my wall that I used to wake up and go to sleep to, fussing at me about do your music and do what you got to do, man, that was a fucking honor, bro. You know, so, you know, it was like, you know, you got to imagine seeing him walking our trailer, and we was shooting, I Got the Hook Up, I think, and you, like, had to double take. Like, you like, damn, he tall, man, damn, but he's slim, but damn, nigga, that's Snoop, no? It's like one of them, you calling your mama, bro. I called my mama, and at the time I was married, so I called my ex-wife, of course, and I called like, yo, Snoop is like sitting like 3 feet 6 inches across from me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Snoop, the real Snoop Dogg. I'm serious. I was calling everybody I could call, and here not thinking that I'm Serv-On. You know what I'm saying? I'm a name now. I'm on the biggest label in the world. He coming our label. None of that mattered. I'm like, that's Snoop. You know what I'm saying? This really Snoop Dogg. I'm like, this corrupt. That's Daz right there. That's Nate Dogg. Motherfucking Nate Dogg. Like, oh no, and I'm talking about this Nate Dogg, man.
And it's crazy, sir, because it's crazy, sir, because there are certain elements in hip hop history that just live and all types of legend. Of course, you know, the incident with Puff Daddy and Steve Stout. You know, and then of course, and we still get bugged out about this. He bought Snoop's contract from Suge Knight, and that was to this day, over 22 years later. That is still like just one of the most. We're just dumbfounded by it. Dude,
but you know something though. But you know something though. When you look at life and say Suge felt like he ain't worth it no more. I ain't tripping. You know what he could do for me, because all that had happened with Pac and everything, and you know, for P, that's who he was. He take the challenge, and it's like, man, Snoop was one of my favorites, and then P also, man, P can be a bit messy, and his thing was like, man, we gonna get Snoop. I ain't tripping on that row. We ain't scared of them. Everybody else scared of them. We're not scared of them. And it wasn't no, you know, like we had an issue like, you know, and the funny thing about life, and I'll tell you something funny to jump back to this, when we first was coming up and we was in a big conference in Miami, when the East and West was beefing, you know, how we met Fat Joe was he got jumped on by some West Coast rappers, and we was like 30 deep, and we was in the lobby, and he came in with the red mark on his eye, and P was like, you all right? He said, okay. And he told him what happened. He was like, all right, okay. So our thing was, the only way we going to make ourselves relevant, who was the biggest label at the time? Death Row. So we actually was going to jump on them, like to make a name for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Which would have been the dumbest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It would have put us in a predicament of you know, on the line, down the line, wrong line. And you got to think, Snoop was with him that day and everything. So now you jump back all these years, and P is like, I want Snoop. One, I want help him. I feel like he still got it. You know what I'm saying? And he missing, and he said, he was like, man, this dude could be making so much more money than what he's making. Right. And then it was also like, okay, they say Suge, and Suge, you know, Suge had his place in history that people will not disagree with me. If Suge wasn't that bad guy when it came to going into those offices, you know what I'm saying, where they was already giving people slave contracts and being that bad guy, and then they learned not to play with black men. They learned not to play games with their money and try to cheat them. He brought that fear, like, okay, a black dude really will walk in here and not, you know, and whatever. He brought that element that changed some things on how they dealt with us. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, at that time he was the boogeyman, like people would say, and P was the type like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this deal with Snoop, and ain't nobody gonna touch him. I'm gonna take Snoop from that road, and that, you know, and that's him. You know what I'm saying? But he still did it more out of love. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, and then you got to think, that was like saying we traded for, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing people say, we traded for Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? I'll use something I heard Snoop say. We got Kevin Durant now, like Golden State did. Like Golden State did. We was already winning championships. You know what I'm saying? But now we got Snoop. Now we unstoppable. You feel what I'm saying? Because I felt like with Mystical, when we got Mystical, we was rolling, we was doing what we was doing. We got Mystical at a time when Mystical was hot and he was big. It was like we got Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now it's over now. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, better yet, we got Pippen. Jordan, P was already Jordan and doing what he was doing by himself with us, and we balling, and then we get Mystical, we got Pippen, we start winning championships. We go get Snoop, like go and get Durant. It's over now. You know, what are you going to do? We got the whole West Coast and the world. We got the West Coast even more so now. Then we got the world that Snoop bring. You know what I'm saying? And we already was starting to take over the world.